Good morning, Professors Johnson and McDermott. My name is Varun Gopal, and I want to thank you for your consideration for the Business Analytics Consulting Workshop. Today, I'll be answering three specific questions. One about my interest in business analytics. One is about my experience working with data and one of my favorite experiences. And then finally, I'll be talking about a time I resolved a conflict while working as a team. The first question is about my interest in analytics, and it comes from two specific places. The first is regarding the media and the applications of analytics through an organization. And then the second is just how my interests aligned. Now, to the first point of that answer, it really stemmed from me watching Moneyball and then reading this book by Thomas Davenport called Competing with Analytics. And in both of those examples, I was able to see how organizations were transformed when they started using data analytics. And so I saw the importance that analytics was used in terms of driving change and growth in an organization. But at the same time, I was also able to see the importance that they still need in terms of practitioners of analytics. So I felt that that was a great experience to see that. And then moving into the second part, I was able to see that my passion was around business, um, and I was good at statistics, I was good at technology. And I think seeing those examples that I previously mentioned, but then also taking the strengths into account, I felt that analytics was just the perfect fit because it combined all three of them. And so from that perspective, I was very enticed to move into analytics, and I felt that was a very big hotspot. Now moving to the second question, what got one of my favorite experience working with analytics, I think hands down has to be my experience at EY. Now, to give you some context, my professional goal has been to utilize analytics to generate meaningful insights that can add value for organizations. And so in the past, I've done a lot of things regarding like utilizing data analytics, but at EY, I was able to see the impact of the analytics through the visualizations that we were creating and the insights that we're generating. And so one specific exercise that I can talk about um, was we've obviously worked with a company. We've transformed the raw data from it through Alteryx, and we were able to create different types of data sets around sales, revenues, cost of goods sold, etc. And we would take that, we put in Excel, but then we'll also create visualizations through Power BI. And through those experiences, we were able to look at trends and see if there was any abnormalities that existed in them. And so I would talk about that with my peer buddy, and then we would bring that to light to the rest of the team that was working on this. And so the great part that was most exciting was we were able to do the second half, which was generate the insights, and then we would present that to the client. And so that was one of my favorite parts about doing this work because we were able to generate that insight that we could ask clients. Now, finally, we were talking about conflict resolution. During the COVID pandemic in 2020, I joined an organization called Student United Way, and I was actually put in as VP in fundraising. And so during that role, obviously, I was focusing on fundraising, but because of the pandemic, we had issues in terms of people not showing up to events. And so that became a challenge. And one particular instance, there was a conflict between one of the people involved in this and our president, who were good friends earlier. And so it became a challenge because the president didn't really want to communicate with this person just because they were friends and she didn't want to hurt the feelings of this individual. And so I decided to find a way where I could be useful in terms of providing a resolution to this conflict. And so I posed some neutral options, one being uh, we understand the commitments that she has, and so we want to make sure that if she is committed, she can come to events, or if she's not, she can take and reassess, reevaluate her position, and then recommit if she wants to. But we wanted to make sure she had the options, and she had the option to come back. And so in that case, we opened the dialogue with this individual, or at least I did, and we were able to resolve this in a way where we gave her the option to reevaluate her situation. And so these are all the three questions I answered, and I want to thank you for this opportunity.